Today's episode is brought to you by Zarya. That's right, Zarya, the awesome. Actually, that's it. That's all I got. He exists. He does, energy barriers. There's also communist in communist Russia, even though this is like 60 years in the future, and Russia is probably, not communist then. Though with recent developments, that has to be seen. Today, in the Radio Rothingham's, we got with you Bakphoon.
Guten Tag.
We got Sekele.
That's Zarya.
And you got yours truly, Artrix. And maybe Xaverius will show up at some point during the recording of this episode. Because currently he is being a shit. So, who knows? He might appear, he might not. And if that actually happens, this would officially be the first episode in which we do not have Xaverius as a co-host. Which would be funny because, he also makes sure to be here. But he's not today. And we'll see. Anyway, last week I had a few things going on. Wasn't able to do an episode. That means that we got a fair number of topics for you this week in this episode. And let's go straight in and talk about the elephant in the room. That is Cofveve. These are the important issues that we're facing in the world right now. Because Donald Trump made a typo. So, of course, the real question is, what does Cofveve mean?
I'm drinking it right now.
Yeah, it sounds like, brand name. Someone should trademark that shit.
I actually just saw a picture of someone actually getting a tattoo of Cofveve.
But what is it?
It's very good with milk.
So that's just gonna be an alternative way of saying you want coffee? Can I have a Cofveve? I guess.
Yeah, it's
And let's see what we got here. And it is a Xaverius.
Well, there was a sound of falling headphones, so it probably was me.
Okay, so it was Xaverius headphones. Hi. Well, here you are holding up your record as the most present co-host of Radio Rothingham, aside from me, of course. So, GG, you still have the title. You win the prize.
No.
No, you don't. You don't. You do not want the prize?
Do I look like a millennial, Artrix?
Actually, yeah, you look like one. Because you're not.
Yes,
here.
it's true. I shaved.
Yeah, exactly. No, isn't the thing about millennials these days that they all look like lumberjacks?
Well, the thing about millennials these days is that they are faggots who can grow a beard.
Well, yeah, but you see a lot of them actually are growing beards, but it also looks fucking awful. Anyway, yeah, we just did the intro. I don't think we've been on for more than 2 minutes. 3 minutes and 46 seconds to be exact. So, yeah, you didn't really miss much of the episode. And we were...
Oh, you didn't tell me that Buck came back.
The back is back.
Yes, the back is back. Because during the last episode, he was actually, doing stuff IRL.
No, during the last episode, your internet didn't work.
That was, not the last time. There was a non-existent time because there was no episode. You see, there was no episode. So the last time was episode 64, I think. I lost count. Okay. Anyway, we're talking about the most pressing issue that the world is facing right now, and that's the meaning of Cofveve. So, according to you, what does Cofveve mean? 1, 3, go.
Kek.
Kek, just that.
Oh, I mean, that's quite a broad term, kek.
No, I mean Cofveve.
Yes.
So it just means kek.
Obviously, if you put the Cofveve into periodic table, then you get numbers,
Hmm.
and the numbers, if you Google them, lead to a scientific article about frogs, and frogs are tied to cake. So obviously,
Seriously, so if you search for Cofveve and you search long enough, you just come across an article about frogs.
how did you miss it? It was all over the internet.
Well, I guess people really do take this shit very seriously, more seriously than I ever could.
Now I
Because
will have to find it again and link it to you. Where did I put it?
you put it on link.com.
No, I put it into a chat.
Also, I accidentally the wrong layer, but I'm using my lead Photoshop skills to remedy this problem.
You should copy the layer with Scuto, just
No,
so you can
no.
kill more Scutos.
Well, that is kind of funny because Zarya has the same hair color as Kulu.
Arya
Zarya,
Stark.
Wait. What if Zarya is Kulu?
It's the Scuto survivor of Artrix oppression.
Yes. You know, after 60 years of being deleted and undeleted in Artrix stream,
She found a way how to exit the loop.
yes, and now she's extremely resentful, so she started to body build like really hard, and then she became Zarya. Also, she became Russian.
Obviously.
Yeah, one day, you know, it is 2060, so or
She's a
27.
trans-Russian.
It's 2076, so she was like, yeah, I'm transnational. I just, you know, I just become Russian.
Oh, okay. Here, I found the Cofveve explanation. Where is your thing?
Okay, post it in the Radio Rothingham chat, and
It's posted in the thing.
and I'll put it in the video description. Also, where's that option where can? Oh yeah, I think I got it. Merge down. Oh, yeah. Oh, now I remember. Apply layer mask. There we go.
nice.
So yeah,
Very nice.
I just extracted all the data from one layer to a transparent layer because I'm so pro.
Nice.
So,
Very nice.
but yeah, it is amazing how everyone is basically all caught up in this Cofveve shit. Because I'm pretty sure that Obama made a bunch of silly little typos and no one seemed to really care.
Well, they did throw a fit when Obama was eating non-American mustard.
That's equally okay.
That's
I'll throw
about as equally terrible as Trump buying 2 scoops of ice cream. Oh my god, I saw a little kid today and he had 2 scoops of ice cream. That misogynist, fuck.
Good morning.
I don't understand, and I'm not sure if I
Good
want.
morning, Panboy.
Hello.
Panboy is here.
Yes, he just said good morning, but you didn't hear him because you were talking.
Yes. Also, good evening. So, how are you, Mr. Panboy?
I have frozen pizza.
Did you at least bake it, or are you eating it straight from the frozen package?
Directly from the freezer, like a true hobo.
Mm-hmm. To be fair, I did it with sweet pizza one. I cooked half a sweet pizza because they are really fattening. So it was like, I'll just try half of one of these and then I'll have the other one later on. And then it was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go take the sweet pizza and I'll just eat it cold. And it was like eating one of those chocolate, the Ben & Jerry sandwich thingies where it's just 2 wafers of cake with ice cream in between. But that was basically it, but in the shape of pizza.
That's
It
a
was
sandwich.
Yeah, it was essentially just a big sandwich. It was really silly.
Why would you ever not eat an entire pizza?
Because I don't know. I just bought it to try. You see, I didn't really and I think back in the day I ate it in combination with something else. So it was more like a really elaborate dessert than main course. Also, the very concept of a sweet pizza is this is quite. No, it's not disgusting. It was actually quite tasty.
Isn't that
Not-
basically just a pie?
It is basically a pie. It has nothing to do with pizza other than
It's
it
just
has
a flat pie, yeah.
it's
It has a crust.
the only thing it's got in common is its shape, but that's about it.
Wait, okay, I didn't actually realize you were talking about something that wasn't pizza.
Yes. Well, yeah, like I said, the only thing it's got in common with pizza is that it's round. But other than that, it's something complete. It doesn't even have tomatoes in it, or cheese, or even bread. Because the bread it's on, it's more like sweet bread. So, yeah.
Why do you lie to me, Artrix? Why do you lie to me about eating pizza?
I very specifically stated that it's not real pizza. I quite went out of my way to say, look, this thing that I had
How can I
once.
believe anything you say?
So are you starting to doubt everything I say now? Am I like is it gonna be like 9/11? You can't trust anyone anymore because everyone's lying to you all the fucking time.
Basically,
Including
he
me.
says you are fake news.
Well, of course I'm fake news. I mean, we all know the Ray Rothingham is fake news. I mean,
I saw some great fake news today, actually.
All right. Well, let's hear it.
Okay. This YouTube site called PragerU, which is sponsored by like PBS and American colleges or something, and they put out a video today basically denying climate change.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a typical thing PragerU would do. Speaking of PragerU, from what I gather, it isn't sponsored by PBS. It's like a private institution, and you can become a member and whatnot. But they are very much known for being very conservative and very anti-liberal. And denying climate change does sound like a typical thing they would do. They're also the same kind of people that would go out and say, look, Christianity is good and it's the only thing can get morality from, and if you're atheist, you're just a mini pants. You can't be moral because Christianity is the only way you can be moral. So go to the church like good little boy and stop being an atheist. Okay, bye. That's basically the mindset that we're talking about here. That's PragerU in a nutshell.
But my morals aren't based on idiotic religious browbeating.
Then you don't have any morals, obviously.
Yeah, that obviously means that you have no morals whatsoever. You're just a savage beast, beast monster, and you should put to death.
You probably rape babies and then eat them.
Yes.
Well, I definitely eat them.
That's a waste. You should use them as fuel.
You just shoot. Here's what we should do. You should just take all the babies, all the fetuses. So post birth fetuses should also count because we're being liberals here. So
Yes, exactly. Every baby is a post-birth fetus.
yes. So
I'm
obviously
perfectly okay with abortion. It just happens to also be murder, and I'm also totally okay with that. Maybe
I'm
I
pro-abortion.
don't have morals.
You get no choice. I'm pro-abortion, so you just get aborted.
I'm pro-abortion in the 120th month.
I'm pro-abortion when it comes to the entire planet. We should just delete it.
You should abort the plan.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, how do we actually go about doing that? Because where does the planet even come from?
We call up some Adept Astartes, and they call their commander, and he'll come in his spaceship and do exterminatus, and that's taken care of that.
Okay.
No, it's quite easy. You just press Control and A, then you press delete.
Oh, that's actually pretty good.
But you have to do it on the whole planet.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know the password for the router of the
Yeah,
planet?
exactly. That means that we're gonna get root access to the planet, because once you do that, you can just control A and then just press delete, and we'll be good.
You guys are thinking about this way too hard. All you have to do is destabilize a meteorite from the asteroid belt and have it do the job for us.
Exactly. We need an evil Bruce Willis.
Or I know even a much easier way. We're talking about having to redirect meteorites and whatnot. Now what we do is just call up Chuck Norris, and we just ask that fucker divide by 0.
Well,
Done.
yeah. I mean, the only thing we have to tell him is that liberals have taken over the planet, and this is the only way to stop them.
But who is to say that he's not liberal? He's a
Well,
celebrity.
Chuck Norris. The thing is, Chuck Norris is very conservative.
Got a good point there. Well, in
To
that
tell
case,
him that,
yeah, just tell him that
yeah,
everything's liberal now, including the wildlife. Like you go to the zoo and even the elephants are liberal. And yeah, then he would probably he wouldn't even announce it. He would just divide by 0, just right there and then. And that would be it. That would just delete the world. And then we can finally have peace. One piece.
after so many episodes.
Well, yeah, that would, the entirety of the world would even be shorter
Well,
than
technically,
One Piece.
we had peace the last week.
Because the episode didn't exist.
I actually had topics, Artrix, like more than 2.
More than 2 even. Well,
Yeah.
yes. Well, okay. Well, you know what? We're just going to go.
But I forgot them all. So all I can tell you is our Minister of Finance finally got fired. And the moment he got fired, he's like, well, I don't like euro.
Well, we already knew that.
No.
Oh,
Before he got fired, he was not exactly against euro.
he was like, well, I'm kind of lukewarm about the euro. It's the
Well,
coins.
he's a businessman, so
Yes.
it's good for him. And then he's still being Minister of Finance. He's like, well, actually, it's bad for the economy.
He's like, yeah, the euro coins look kind of nice. I
Oh,
kind of like.
and the population can't smoke anymore.
Wait, what?
Well,
There's
we had it. Yes.
there's a blanket ban on smoking now.
Yes, in pubs and
Oh, in pubs.
other public spaces.
Yeah,
Oh,
another,
that's like normal.
yeah.
over here.
In other words, they pretty much applied European rules to this sort of thing. I think this is something dictated by
technically-
Brussels.
Technically, everything is a public space. Obviously, if you want to smoke, you just scratch the pub of your name and take a pencil and write "Gentlemen's Smoking Club" there, and that's taken care of.
Yes.
And it just happens that everybody who enters the door gains membership.
No, but I think the not being able to smoke in pubs thing is the directive that comes from Europe, and
Obviously.
they're
I remember when
implement-
it was. I remember when something similar was introduced in Germany, and there were actually even some workarounds because also it was not allowed to smoke in pubs, but you are allowed to smoke in those tents, those pavilion, or however
Yes,
those are
yes.
called. So people were actually
Gazebos.
building them inside. So people were actually building them inside their pubs, like they had a designated room, and people could smoke inside it as long as they were under the tent.
well,
German engineering.
what I like about Germany is you guys are actually allowed to make ads for smoking. And I miss those. I miss being on the street and seeing a giant billboard for Marlboros. That doesn't exist over here, but it's still allowed in Germany. And there's just something about it that I want it back. I want, tobacco companies to be able to make ads for smokes because they're just so cool.
Not every sign that has red and white on it is a ad for Marlboro.
It might be Shell.
Yes.
Well, Artrix, if you want to see some ads, then just come here. We have like Apparently in Prague there's 120 billboards per kilometer. So I'm pretty sure you can find your pick there.
Yeah, but are you allowed to advertise smokes on it? Because we have
I
our
don't
fair
know. Who has time to read 120 billboards per kilometer?
Me neither. But at least
Kilometer.
the ads for smoke.
Kilometerlands. Oh.
I mean, we even have like animated billboards now. You drive down the motorway and there's like especially when it's at night and everything's pitch black, and then there is a freaking advertisement right there asking for attention. It's like, hey, listen, hey Artrix, hey listen, hey listen, hey listen. And then I'm like, okay, I'm paying attention. Then there's a fucking truck and I'm dead. Because I was paying more attention to the fucking
Artrix.
ad.
Artrix. You have to remember you were the aggressor because the track was peaceful.
Yes, the truck. Well, in this case, it would legitimately be the case because the truck is just being a truck, and then I had to come and put a few scratches on it, and the truck is obviously oppressed. You know, I'd be dead, but we have to think about the truck here. The truck is oppressed because who am I to put scratches on it? The truck's just paying, minding its own business. Then have to come about. Trucks like what, 30 tons. My car is barely 2 tons. The winner's pretty obvious. Truck lives. I just delete myself.
You change state.
Because you are spam.
Mm-hmm. And the truck driver will probably have like some trauma. He's going to have to live that moment down for the rest of his existence while, I'll be dead.
Don't worry, Artrix. Existence is suffering anyway.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. But still, it's a pretty shitty thing for me to do. Killing myself by looking at a billboard, giving that trucker such a hard time. It's pretty sad. And anyway,
Just like your life.
let's. I'll give you guys turns, bring up topics. So I think it's Sekele's turn. So what topic do you want to bring up, Sekele?
Okay, so I'll start with the obvious stupidity.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, in the USA, in the Bay Area, there
Of
are
course.
being partially successful attempts to shut down restaurants for being owned by white people. Thus far, they have one victory to close down violently a taco stand owned by 2 white women.
Well,
And
Sekele,
they
you should know that eating is not a part of white people's culture.
Obviously, we can sustain on just oppression.
Yes, exactly.
actually
On hate for not white folks.
And it's utterly absurd that white people would want to eat.
Yeah.
And
Tacos.
we stole food from the gangs.
We went over to the Americas, we conquered a bunch of shit, and then we're like, what
What
are
is
these
this?
people? Well, what is this eating?
Show me!
Show me how you do it. And then they put stuff in their mouth and chew, and then we're like, oh my god, that's awesome. And then we just culturally appropriated the shit out of it.
Hey you, make me more of this eating.
That's how Thanksgiving was born. By the Indians showing the Americans like, yeah,
How to eat.
how to eat. You take this stuff, put it in your mouth, and then you
Then
eat
the
it.
Americans ate every single buffalo that was.
That also puts Attack on Titan to on an entirely new perspective.
See, Artrix, how harmful eating is. The
Yes.
Indians showed white people how to eat, and white people ate like all the buffaloes and all the pigeons. Actually, yes, there were like pigeons in North America that numbered in billions, and they got all eaten by the end of 19th century.
But yeah, from what I get of the story,
Reportedly, they were delicious.
So apparently the story goes something like this. So these 2 women went to the Mexicos and they were like, "You owe me," and then the Mexicans were like, "Oh, we're just gonna mind our own business here." So they just kind of looked, and they observed how they made the most complicated of foods, which is wraps.
How make taco? Shove food in wrap.
No,
Oh.
these were wraps. So it was like, yep, take a slab of this wheat tortilla or whatever it is. You slap some crap on it. You roll that shit up, and you're done.
It's like kebab, but not as delicious.
Exactly. So
We actually have this sort of stuff as well over here. We call it palatsinki.
it is
Only over here it's sweet.
it is
And
in,
usually you don't roll them like a barbarian.
it is
I do roll them.
You barbarian.
They've got them everywhere these days. Most
Yes.
places just call them tacos or burritos or chinchillas.
and there are so many variations of it these days. But yeah, but you see, these women went to to the Mexicos. They witnessed other women, and then they took their ideas and incorporated it into their own, which makes it cultural appropriation. Except,
Isn't that basically how learning works?
yeah, because they essentially made their own recipe. They didn't, they took inspiration from these Mexican women. It's not like, they didn't learn anything from the experience.
No,
But it's
no.
not. It's not like they went in all Mission Impossible style.
They grabbed the poor Mexican women, pushed them against the wall, and stole their knowledge
Yep. They
straight
just,
from their brains.
With
Their evil white people magic.
they just stuck out their tongues and just sucked it straight out, like in those
Yeah,
alien movies.
Rather the giant alien bug in Starship Troopers.
Yes. So just took the info and then they just GTFO'd, and then now white people know how to burrito, I guess. Except
As they didn't know that before.
Mhm.
And I saw a picture of one of these burritos they made. It looked gloriously terrible.
Yes.
It wasn't even a traditional burrito recipe. It was like it was like your fucking Caspalon just shoved
Exactly.
into a burrito.
Yes.
Exactly. Actually, I was reminded of Capsalon too.
It's
Like
kind of like
this,
that.
this mess of ingredients lazily stuffed into a fried thing.
So yeah,
Right.
it's not even. I mean, it's one thing to say, okay, for instance, you go to the Japans and you spend like 3 months amongst the really high masters that make the best sushi in the world, and you study every intricate step of it, and then you go back to the United States and you replicate that recipe exactly without crediting the original source.
It's kind of overrated. The hard part is to cut out all the poisonous part of the fish, which is like most of the fish. That's the thing about sushi.
yes.
Well, that's
Well,
puffer
that
fish.
yeah, that's
specifically.
one very specific
Yes.
recipe. It's not like all, but yeah, what we have here is a bunch of
And I was trying to insinuate that sushi is not a science,
no,
except
at
except
its,
except for those things that you do with poisonous fishes.
yes. Also, at its very core, sushi is basically like you take a bunch of fish, take a bunch of rice, you just slam them on some seaweed, you roll that
Yes.
shit up, you chop it up, done. It's basically just
And
rice
don't
and fish.
forget the soy sauce, because without the soy sauce, it's unedible.
No, it's okay, but yeah.
It's because it's a raw fish.
Mhm.
Obviously, you need something to mask the taste.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's
Which is why soy sauce is
it's
crucial.
it's,
I mean,
it's
we all know that Japan isn't the richest when it comes to resources. Shit iron, all they have is boots
Mhm.
and fish.
that's why everything is made of fucking wood in the Japans, even
And
the
of fish.
houses. And they found out the hard way that having your entire infrastructure made of wood is not exactly the most advantageous thing, especially during wartime. They really found out the hard way. They were like,
Wow.
Well, when the Americans bombed them with
Yes.
fiery sticks, it was much more effective than the atom bombs.
yes.
Well, to be fair, the times before there was a war with Japan, the attackers usually got blown out by some tornadoes. So yeah,
Yeah, like that YouTube video where the narrator's like, yeah, they died in a tornado. That's probably literally what happened. The Japanese are there like, come fight me, bruh, come fight me, and then they died in a tornado. Oh, well, that
Japan
doesn't
was like,
really-
he's strong, emperor strong.
that sounds more like Russia, but okay. That almost sounds like something
to
Zarya would say.
Japan. So
Emperor's long? No, that's Vietnamese.
Anyway, back to top.
Japanese is R, not L.
Back to topic, because the
yeah,
central
because
the central crux of the issue here is the concept of cultural appropriation, and it's something
they basically made a list of other restaurants owned by white people that offered foods of non-European origin down those as well. As of this point, I'm not aware if they succeeded or not, but I have seen a lot of angry comments telling to those SJUs to go fuck themselves.
Yeah, because they're probably attacking their favorite restaurants. You live in the LA area, because it was in LA, right?
I think it was actually Portland.
That's kind of the same thing. It's West Coast, so it's all kind
Hey,
of the same
well,
thing.
you know what's the motto? Keep Portland weird.
Though to be fair, we usually say that California is a pretty extremely leftist state and everything, but apparently the more northern regions of California are much more conservative than their
That's
southern.
because all the rich people live there.
Yeah, but rich people can be either super conservative or they can be virtual signaling idiots.
That depends on whether or not they made that money themselves, or if they got it from daddy.
Good point. But yeah, the central crux of this the quote unquote problem, because it is a problem, but it's not for the reasons that a lot of people think.
Did they go to all the Chinese restaurants afterwards and call them out for making European dishes?
No,
Because
They only included restaurants owned by white people, and for example, they had no problem with an Indian restaurant owned by a Korean guy.
That just doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, they
But-
hate Asians.
But here's the central crux of the problem. Yeah, these people really want their multicultural society, right? They want they want all these cultures to coexist and blah blah blah. It's fine and dandy. But then you have to accept that cultures will give and take from one another. That is
See, actually,
inevitable.
they have to exist
Stop
at the
being so
same
racist, Artrix.
time. They have to all be separate in the same place at the same time. But otherwise, it doesn't count.
No, all they want is to kill all of the white people.
Well, yeah, that seems to be their end goal. It seems, especially the way they're acting, because it seems that everyone's getting a free pass except for, white people.
Didn't it have to?
And that sounds fucking terrible. But that's what's happening. If you are going to be, if you want to really virtue signal the shit out of the concept of, okay, we shouldn't be racist, and then go ahead and basically tell that all white people are the source of all evil, then you're becoming exactly the thing that you're rallying against.
But
We
it's not
can-
racist if it's against whites.
That's what they believe, yes.
Yeah, and that's where I call them out on their bullshit.
That's because for some bizarre reason, someone redefined racism to them.
Well,
to
that's
be
basically
something
what
entirely different.
that's basically what's happening.
And speaking of this, there is a related topic that essentially they are currently in one of their liberal universities. Professor fired for being white.
Wait, is he actually fired? Because
I
from what
have not checked the updates yet.
No, I think they
I
were
have not-
trying to get him fired.
We're
but
definitely trying.
as a matter of
because-
fact, I even think that the administration of the university was like, no, fuck off. We're not firing this professor. You're being a bunch of shits. Now fuck off and get to your classroom.
See, they've
Yeah,
gotten
to better explain the situation, I haven't read the article. Even the background to this is super retarded, because one university had, as part of a fight against racism, special day were not allowed to enter the university.
Yeah, because the best
For
way to.
one day,
Okay.
like for one day, students, teachers, staff members, anyone whose wife was banned from entering the university, who happened to be white, just needed to quickly grab something at the university. Like he didn't even intend to work there, just quickly go, pick something up, and leave. But he got assaulted. Now
So
I'm not sure if actual physical violence happened, but there were at least verbal attacks and humiliations.
so you're saying that that video clip that's floating about was on that specific day where he
Yeah,
was
that
basically
was
on the
that
campus
was
grounds and everyone's like, yeah, GTFO because you're white.
yeah.
Well, you see, the best way to fight racism, is by
More
being
racism.
That seems to be the thing here.
It's
It's all-
definitely what they believe.
But it's not racism when they do it.
And that's what society at large needs to break through. We need to break through this retarded, vicious cycle of, going along with this line of reasoning. We really need to, as a society, tell these people, no, what you're doing is racist, and we don't tolerate this shit. It doesn't matter that this people's the majority group; they still deserve basic rights.
Ridiculous. Rights for white people? That's just silly. They've had rights for far too long. In fact, all their rights should be taken away immediately, and they should just be purged.
And retroactively. So if you ever, I should go to the government and just turn myself in. Be like, yeah, you guys, you see, I have my own business and everything. I build myself. This is the fruit of my own labor, but you can have it everything because it's all stolen. I did not do anything to deserve this, and I want you to take it. Take everything I own, and I'll be on a merry way. I'll just go live on the street or something. Because
You should actually, if they get their way, you won't live, or rather, you will live very briefly in a concentration camp.
Mhm. Well,
Come
yeah,
on,
that's
they are called work camps.
yeah. You need to use a more euphemistic name for that sort of thing. I mean, come on.
Yeah, if you just call them concentration camps, nobody will go there.
I mean, what are we? A bunch of Nazis? Come on, that's something a Nazi would say. No, a communist would call it the Gulag. Obviously, comrade.
They're called internment camps, don't you know?
Yes.
Also, gulags were not called gulags either. Those were opportunities to build the Soviet Union.
Yes, it almost sounds like free exposure underscore txt. Like, yeah,
Well,
do
yeah,
this.
it's like you're walking along the street and suddenly a van stops next to you and you get dragged into it and there's a Secret Service agent there and he's like, hey, I have an offer for you. See, we thought you might be a criminal who doesn't agree with the party, but we offer you a chance if you help us build the Soviet Union over there at Siberia, then we'll just let you
Not
go
die.
scot-free. Yes, not die, basically.
Yeah, if
And then you might be like, well, I don't really like going to Siberia. And the agent would be, well, you don't want to help to build the Soviet Union. Well, then you are a criminal and you are going to Siberia. So you had a choice between
Yeah.
going to Siberia
And go.
voluntarily or as a criminal.
But what do they even build in Siberia? And are you
Railroad.
appropriating Siberian culture?
Well, obviously
They were
they're
building
going to.
railroads and they were building their own prison basically because there's for thousands and thousands of kilometers in each direction there's only ice.
Yeah, I was
So-
going to say, aren't they gonna send? Don't they send them over there to mine ice? and to build ice
well,
factories.
there probably were some actual mines. There were railroads that needed maintaining and building.
Yes.
Also, most of those camps didn't even have fences because where are you going to run?
Hmm. Yeah, the harsh weather is basically your fence. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah,
It's like, good luck. Either you are going to freeze to death or the wolves get you.
It's like, comrade, I'm going to escape. Okay, I'll join you. Oh my god, all this ice, I'm freezing to death.
It's like, comrade, we need to escape. And the comrade is like,
Where?
But obviously, you need to steal a military vehicle to escape.
Well, you need to steal a train. Because
Yeah.
railroad.
Yeah, but even if you get the military vehicle, it's like you get, you travel for a few hundred kilometers, then you run out of gas, and nothing has changed because
Well,
your
that's the problem with
surroundings.
the trains, right, Artrix? Because the fucking railroad went across the entire fucking Russia, which is the entire northern Asia,
Mhm. Yes.
and most of it is snow. So it's like even if you get on the train, some of the stations probably have telegraph, and they can notify the other people.
Yes. So yeah, if you manage to hijack a military vehicle, you may get away for a few hundred kilometers, and then essentially nothing has changed because you're still in the middle of fucking nowhere, and there's still snow all around you, and you're like, yeah, that was a huge waste of time, and I'm
Basically, you are a retard.
no, because you got there in the first place because Soviet Union. That was like, yeah, we're basically going to sentence you to death. We're just gonna let you die. I hope you enjoy not living anymore.
But they're Russian, so we probably will.
But obviously we should try communism again. You just have to try again.
Well, I mean, as it's proven, communism in its early stages causes famine, right?
Mhm.
So basically, through famine, you are going to kill all those people who need to eat, because the white people appropriated the eating, so the non-white people don't eat anymore because they can't. So the only people who actually eat now are white people. And if there's a famine, then white people can't eat and they will die. It's perfect.
That's some insane troll logic, like right here.
Yes, they teach it in universities.
Mhm. We're
Of
not
course
doomed.
they do.
It's quite terrifying when someone walks up to you and says, yeah, we should try communism. Why? Well, they taught me in university. This professor agrees with me.
Why though?
That
Why
professor is an idiot. He should be fired.
Why is this mode of thinking so prevalent these days?
Because stupid American and stupid Westerners in general. Because they never experienced anything bad.
Well, I don't know about that. Because most people in the there go. The working class don't actually indulge themselves in these ideas because they're like, yeah, where the fuck is my next paycheck coming? So yeah, it's obviously done by a lot of people with a lot of time on their hands.
And people who don't know how reality works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the important part.
Of course, it's also college students who are coming out of college with degrees in gender studies, and then they're realizing there's no possible way for me to ever get a job. At least in communism, I'd be put to work.
Yes. Regardless of your job. Like, you're a philosopher, eh? Go to the metal factory.
Which is probably why a lot of these people end up working for the government, because it's basically like a miniature, bureaucracy. It's like a miniature version of communism, so they can at least.
And the best part about government jobs is you are really hard to fire.
Yes.
Usually, when they want you gone, you get promoted into some position that you can't really do, so you can do much harm.
Or you get assassinated, depending on how high up in the government.
Yes, or that. There's actually something. Basically, there's a theory that if you are actually competent at your job, you get promoted, right?
Yes.
And it continues like this until you hit a position where you are no longer competent. But since they always promote based on your performance in the current position, you just get stuck in that job that you can't do.
So and then they hope that you just quit. You just become
that or
frustrated
just,
and you just
you
give
know,
up.
give you meaningless tasks and wait out until you get into retirement.
Yes.
See, that's how managers are made.
Well, that sounds like tax money well spent.
Basically.
Yes. Anyway, so yeah, cultural appropriation. It's a really retarded concept. And I hope this trend will die very soon. Like people just see right through it, and anytime anyone mentions
Either the
cultural
trend,
go ahead.
either the trend of complaining dies or humanity dies.
Well, let's hope it's the former, because I'd like the human race to exist at least a little longer, at least long enough for me to finish drawing the Zarya picture.
I'm all for total nuclear apocalypse.
Anyway, Xaverius, your turn. Topic. Gib.
No, Gib.
Oh.
Well, there's a meaningless thing that happened recently, and the Czech internet is in uproar over it.
Mhm.
Basically, there's an art student,
Okay.
and he spent the 2 last years of his year being all about bunkers,
Okay.
like the border defenses, and basically the only people who spent more time on studying bunkers than him were the people who actually built bunkers before the Second World War.
Mhm.
And then he decided to make his grade end of the, I don't know if it's master study or whatever do they have at the art faculty. His great work was taking such a bunker that was sold to a private person because the government didn't want to deal with the bunker anymore.
Mhm. Makes
He took
sense.
this bunker and he chopped off a corner.
Wow.
That's his art project.
So he just took the bunker and he spent an entire week chopping off a corner.
Yes. And now there's a bunker with a chopped off corner. And everybody's like, oh no, he's destroying the precious memorials of the war that never really happened because Germany took us without fight. And then, especially the bunker enthusiasts, and historians.
Yes.
And then they come to the bunker and are like, oh, that's interesting. This construction that we never really got the chance to look at because bunkers are naturally made to not be broken. They actually learned a thing or two about how bunkers were made through this. I did read an article about it, but I can really tell you more than this because the more I read the article, the more I was feeling like somebody slipped me some really funky drugs.
Well, on the surface, it actually seems like he did something sensible. He modified the bunker in such a way that people can actually see what it's made of, to get a bit more insight in what goes into building a bunker and whatnot, which makes the art project more utilitarian, I guess. So you can actually learn a goddamn thing about bunkers for once, instead of just having, ooh, I did this because some metaphorical shit that you wouldn't understand. You're just a stupid pleb. Fuck off. I can drink my Starbucks coffee.
Yeah.
But it
Well,
sounds
anyway,
like there was more to it.
It was a very pretentious person. Well, rather his field was very pretentious, and apparently he's not the first of his kind. There are just people who spend years studying bunkers from historical construction perspective and from the art angle. And I don't know, do even bunkers have some art angle to them?
No.
I was wondering
Not
that
really.
myself while you were saying this.
No,
I don't know why am I saying that. I just saw it and I just can't understand it.
anyone who's
Because
there's-
you're not
there's-
art.
There's something in this that my brain just cannot process for some reason. I don't know. Yeah, so that's the thing that happened.
Anyone who's going
Also, there was a concert in England that really bombed.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Manchester bombing.
that happened. It was.
And they are defending, and of course they are defending it.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was a Sikh who was, a taxi driver, and he was like offering free rides to people, and then the supporters of Muslims were like, "Look, a Muslim is driving people." Oh, maybe if they noticed that he was a Sikh, they wouldn't say that because Sikhs traditionally do not like Muslims very much.
Obviously.
Well,
But-
they,
but-
they,
oh,
they
wow.
made sure to. They actually made sure to report him as a Muslim and not a Sikh when they reported on it. Because honesty in today's media.
But the narrative.
Lie. They always only lie.
But yeah, that was quite hilarious. I mean, their line of reasoning was probably, oh, this guy is slightly darker than all the other people, so
He's
he
brown.
must be he's brown, so he must be poor Muslim. And then turns out he's not a Muslim
But
at all.
if the media is lying, then how we do know that they didn't just make the bombing up?
Because
That's
Muslims
true.
always explode and the media always lies. But if something that always happens and the media reports it, then it's maybe true.
Come on. It's not the Muslims' fault. They just get startled really easily. You need to be gentle with them because they just can't stand any pressure.
Yeah, as soon as they're as soon as they're added to the Church of Muslimness, they get their free bomb vest. It's complimentary, It's like a Christian confirmation. You go to church, so everyone gathers around, and the priest anoints you with a bomb vest and a blessing from Muhammad.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about it since they always say they get 72 virgins. And this one blew up himself at a concert full of young girls. Is it possible they are running out of virgins?
Well, obviously they need to restock.
Yeah. But why do it at a concert that's full of British girls at 16 years of
Because
age? There's no virgins there.
maybe they are naive enough to think there are.
No, actually, maybe. What do we know? Older women are walking around in trash bags. They probably don't even know how old or young women look like.
I'm sure there's at least one virgin amongst them because like there was a guy that kept defending Muslims that they are not that bad, and that guy died also in the bombing.
Yes, that guy. That was a very pleasant guy, judging by his tweets.
So in other words, they Muslim apologist was like, yeah, Muslims are not bad, and then he gets blown up by a Muslim.
Yeah, it was like this is all fear mongering. These people probably weren't even Muslims, and he died
And then
by
yeah,
explosion
that's quite
with a
ironic.
Muslim in it.
Jeez. But yeah, to be perfectly fair though, there is the people that conflate the entire Muslim faith with these terrorists. I do think that this is I think a lot of people are forgetting that the West is essentially in a war with ISIS, which those fuckers are really
Well, I
pissed
did
at.
read some reaction that it was not a Muslim who blew himself up. Like it's not Muslims who do terrorism. It's the Islamic State.
But here's the problem: they are Muslim, so it's you can't really say, well, Islam has nothing to do with it because as far as
It's
Islam,
even worse, Artrix. According to Islamic State, the Muslims are not Muslims.
yeah. So in other words, if you're a Muslim living in the West, ISIS is also your enemy because they're not exactly fighting for you.
Which also
goes
means
for-
they can blow you up anytime
Yeah.
because, hey,
No,
either you're
and-
infidel or you are legit Muslim, in which case you go to heaven.
Indeed, they're like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you're not a legit Muslim, and even if you are, well, it's perfectly fine to blow you up, and we'll award you in heaven or some shit.
Well,
I don't
yes.
know. We'll
You
we'll
are
throw
a true
you a bone.
Muslim, so you get your reward when you get blown up.
Yes. So don't worry. Even if you get blown up, you'll be fine. So yeah. in one way, yes, we shouldn't conflate all Muslims with terrorists. It's dumb and stupid. It's not something.
Kind of
good,
unrelated, but somebody.
but it's
it
also
out.
very retarded to be like, yeah, this has nothing to do with Islam because it's got everything to do with Islam. I mean, ISIS is like, okay, we just did this attack. We did it. It's ours. Original content, do not steal. And then the regressive left is like, no, you didn't mean to do it. It's socioeconomic problems, and they're just really, really sad people, and we need to be very kind to them. And then it's just like, you won't, man. No, we did it. It's our fault. This is our fault. We take full responsibility. This is our work. Original terrorism, do not steal. And then the
worst thing
regressive list is like, no, don't blame yourself. He couldn't help it. He was just, a victim of circumstance and our evil Western values, and they're so pathetic. And please don't blame this on you. And then they're like, no, it is our fault. We did it. Stop telling the world that we didn't do it. We didn't. We did it. We planned it. We carried out the attack. It's all our work. I mean, here, have this booklet. See, here's our manifesto. It specifically states that we basically want to destroy the West, and we hate the West, and we hate it for all it stands for, and that we want to destroy you. That's nothing to do with socioeconomic issues. I mean, most of these terrorists are even like pretty well off. So what the fuck are you talking about? No. It's you're. I don't know. Let me go back to Starbucks and
I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's go back.
Yes. let's go back to what we're doing.
What were we doing?
I don't know. We were discussing the Manchester explosions.
Yeah. And how the regressive left is defending it.
Mm-hmm.
It's really absurd that anyone can look at a terrorist attack and say the people who claim to do this for their motivations didn't do it for those motivations. It's just dumb.
Mm-hmm.
And people need to wake up to that. And I feel like we're just repeating ourselves over and over again.
Well, yeah, that's basically. I mean, it's cycle. There's attack. You change your Facebook
Yes,
profile picture.
that's
pray
how you
for,
do
and,
commentary for both events, Panboy. You just repeat yourself.
Meanwhile, in fucking Philippines, they're like, oh, so ISIS is basically taking over an entire city. They're like, this city's ours now, and then like hours within this happening. The Philippine government's like, yeah, we'll just send a bunch of tanks there, we'll just kill everyone we even seems remotely sympathetic to ISIS, and we just blow them the fuck out, and it's back out to ours again. They're not gonna be like, oh, maybe we should, think of their motivations, and maybe they're just, a victim of circumstance. No, they just, blow them the fuck up, and they're like, get out.
Mm-hmm. When someone comes into your country and blows up your people, the only rational response is to go into their country and blow up their people.
Well, they also go a bit further though, because in this case they were kind of like beheading people, and yeah, they were basically
The only way to make sure they are not coming back.
Well, yeah, they were like, "Are you Muslim?" Yeah. Okay. Can you cite this verse thing? Oh no, I actually can't. Okay. Well, off with your head. But I wanted to go see the movie tomorrow. Well, tough
No.
shit.
Unless you tell us what's on page 76, you don't go anywhere.
Oh God, I didn't study, and then you die because they're like, yeah, you couldn't cite this thing. So.
Oh no, I wish I actually read Quran and not just go to page 40 and draw Prophet Muhammad.
So yeah, but that and I don't really think this was really covered in the mainstream media. I haven't really.
Of course not, because it worked.
Because I don't think I've seen it anywhere other than like, well, ironically, Twitter.
I think I did
No,
see one
because
news
then-
article about it.
Yeah, but it's like a footnote. It's like, well, okay, we're spending 6,000 hours on the Manchester bombing, and how sad everyone is, and virtual signaling and whatnot. Oh, and by the way, in this faraway country, ISIS has basically taken over an entire city.
And you know why? Because then people would realize actually what has to be done.
To not every
They
country
might
taken over by
actually do it.
ISIS.
Hmm?
To not every country be taken over by ISIS.
Yeah, to not let their country be taken over by ISIS.
Hmm. I mean, that's kind of the crux here. Like I actually don't have a lot of problems with Muslims who legitimately want to live in the West. If you want to live here, that's fine, but you have there
Really
needs to
assimilate.
assimilate. There needs to be kind of a commitment, and that has nothing to do with nationalism, whatnot.
It's
pragmatic.
not customary to blow up yourself.
Yeah, for one thing, in this
Although-
country, that reminds me of a similar thing. So yeah, in this country, we don't blow one another up when we don't agree with one another. When we disagree, we use words. I know that's hard to understand, but we use words to discuss concepts that are abstract, and it's an abstraction of things. We don't immediately blow each other up.
I think the
Very
part,
hard to understand.
I think part of the problem is that the Islam faith, just in general, is not really compatible with
Yeah.
other faiths.
Yes.
Kind of
Right,
like
in
medieval
general.
Christianity wasn't. It took it at least a 30-year-old war before even they started considering that.
Well, it depends, what stage of Christianity. I mean, because when it
As
came
I
to
said,
be, when it came to be, it was mostly like a chill philosophy of let's not kill each other. While Islam, when it was, starting to exist, it was like, hey, let's kill these other people so we have more of this piece of desert.
Which is very useful, of course. I mean, you gotta have all those sand mining.
Yes, you have.
rights.
You gotta have all the desert.
Hmm? I mean, look at the Arabic world right now. They got so much desert, they don't know what to do with themselves. I mean,
Exactly.
just look at a
Everybody
country
loves
like
sand.
Libya. I know, right? I fucking love sand. I love it even more than trains.
Oh, talking about sand, there was a news that 44 refugees died in Sahara. Okay.
How did they get
walking
there?
across it?
Sahara is quite a lot away from Syria, isn't it?
A little bit. It's also in the wrong direction.
So that's basically what happened. They just went the wrong way,
Yeah. They accidentally missed Europe.
but only by going the exact opposite way. GG.
Yes.
I know. Europe has locked up its borders. Let's go to South Africa. There's rich people there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's
There
take a
are.
shortcut.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if I want to live in South Africa right now.
Well, they were going to northern Libya because there happens to be a coast,
Also,
and it's very close to Italy.
Isn't South Africa where the African science thing happened, where they're like, yeah, we're going to do away with Western science, and we're going to go back to like African science, which is like magic and shit.
Yes, obviously. Don't you know there are shamans who can call lightning to kill people?
Well, luckily, as we all remember from that video, the moment she said that, everyone in the room laughed at her. And she didn't even understand that she just said something incredible.
Well, then the guy was like, "It's not true," and she was like, "What? How can it not be true?" And then the girl next to her was like, "You are disrespecting this space. Please leave."
Yeah, I don't remember people laughing at her, but there was indeed. I think it was one of the faculty of the school that was like, "No, that's not how science works. You're an idiot." And then they were like, "Yeah, you're invading the space by bringing up facts, and those are problematic." Blah blah blah.
Oh no, there was laughter in the video. Go back and watch it again.
I need to decolonize this science thing.
We should decolonize everything recently.
Well,
really.
except for the thing with a kite and a key and a lightning, because that guy was black actually.
Since when has decolonizing helped anything? Seriously, just think of all the former colonies. The second they became decolonized, they went to shit.
Well, that's because the white people stole all their culture.
I think you'll find
Duh.
Americans disagree with you there.
I
So
think-
does-
As we all know, culture is a finite and non-renewable resource. That's why white people keep stealing it.
and I think Hong Kong's doing fine too.
Hmm. As a matter of fact, the entirety of the Asian world is doing pretty good right now, and they culture appropriated the shit out of Western culture.
I think there's a trend in which colonies are failing. They tend to be a little bit further south, and the skin colors tend to be a bit darker. I'm not trying to imply anything.
So
But yeah,
the Irish are basically black people.
Yes.
that's what he's saying. Yes, that's exactly what he said, down to the very last
There
detail.
is actually an American book called "When Did the Irish Become White?" That's a legit book.
Well, to be fair, Irish slavery was a legit issue in the early days
That's
of
what
the
the
United
book is
States.
about
Yes,
Irish
so was
people.
Slav slavery, Germanic slavery, any other ethnic you can think of slavery.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much
That's-
everyone kept slaves in this world until the when was it? Was it before the Renaissance that whiteys stopped keeping
It was in
slaves?
Magna Carta that slavery was banned because the king wanted to, make it a private business for himself, which didn't work out. And then ever since then, there was the 12th century, I think, or 13th century, the British were like, slavery is bad.
Yep.
And
It's funny because they're often brought up as being this evil empire that enslaved everything, including the sun. At one point, the sun was a slave of the British Empire. That's why they said the sun never sets in this British empire, because they enslaved it.
Every time it tries to go down, we just poke it with a stick.
Exactly. So that's how evil the Brits were, including Astra. He's obviously still evil because he's British.
Yes.
Yes.
Are we right, Astra? Are you there, Astra? Will you ever be there?
Yeah, Astra, I'm gonna make you watch this episode, and you're going to have to explain yourself because you're obviously terrible. Just
Yeah,
for
an
British.
evil empire, Astra.
Yeah, you're an imperialist, and yeah.
Oh, okay. Recent news.
Mhm.
There's a rock festival in Germany, and Friday was stopped because security reasons.
Did somebody blow up?
I'm pretty sure it's completely unrelated to anything that has happened recently.
That there's a quote because of security reasons. Oh, based on certain evidence, we can't rule out the threat of terrorism. Ah, that's nice.
Mhm. So yeah, it's fucking the economy too. Nice.
Yes, I'm looking forward to the rock festival in summer.
So
God.
yeah, I hope for you that it's not gonna get cancelled because of these terrorisms. Though you're
If somebody blows up, they better blow up on some shit band that only shit people go to.
Apparently, someone charged into a casino in the Philippines as well, and
Oh yeah,
attempted an armed robbery, which went horribly wrong, but not
like
before he
extremely
killed.
horribly wrong. How do you even do that? That's like
Evidently, this person had no idea of how to successfully rob somewhere. You go in with your gun, you make lots of noise, you get the money, and you leave. You don't start shooting people indiscriminately. That's not successful.
No, that's you're kind of giving yourself away in everything.
What was the toll? At the time I read it was 46.
It says 36 on RTE.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
6
but-
at the end, definitely.
But seriously, what a noob! Come on.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when you fail a mission in a game and you just start shooting everybody.
Well, that's
That's
probably the IRL equivalent of that.
Yeah,
The
I bet he was a gamer.
Yeah,
Oh.
speaking of games, the best part about this robbery was it was in Manila, right?
Uh-huh.
It's it's that actually there was a big MTG tournament held also it was supposed to be held on the next day, the MTG tournament, and basically what they did, they just postponed it by like 6 hours. So even for all those people died in this building and everything, they still had the tournament.
Oh, apparently no, he didn't actually shoot people. He set the place on fire.
Nice.
And they died because
Smoke. They died of
smoke poisoning, basically. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Well, there are two ways to look at it. There's the aspect of, yeah, it's kind of disrespectful, but there's also the aspect of, yeah, this guy did something terrible, but we're not going to give a fuck, and we're just gonna carry on with our regularly scheduled lives.
yes, he did
This-
something terrible, but he fucked it up so much.
He was kind of a noob. Anyway, we're kind of running out of time, so we have to kind of go through the topics. Sekele, next topic. You probably have to be a bit
there are
selective
several-
because...
That's
there are
discriminative.
several, and well, first off, I'll start with a movie-related topic.
Hmm.
Wonder Woman movie. It premiered today. It has good reviews. However, the movie had some pre-screenings, like basically when some theaters were allowed by Warner Brothers to show the movie earlier.
Hmm.
And one of those theaters decided, okay, we will do a pre-screening, but only women will be allowed to watch it. And of course, some people on the internet started asking, why only women? And then the theater replied, oh, look at all these misogynistic men. Ha 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 ha.
And that really goes against the spirit of Wonder Woman, honestly.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Because in her story, you know, she comes from an island of nothing but women, and it's portrayed as being kind of shit, actually. They're not exactly nice people, and they're horribly racist and sexist against everybody, as a consequence of being so isolated and xenophobic. So for them to make a Wonder Woman screening that's all about segregation and sexism is kind of, well, that's kind of shitty.
Yeah, well, it's douchey. Very douchey.
Do shitty.
Yes.
But yeah, in other words, that they were trying to use this as a tool to point out, look at all these misogynistic men. See, it's a problem, and we need to do something about it. Even though the guys are more
And
like,
the
they're just like,
starting, the people who were calling them out weren't even being rude. Like they were just literally, what's going on? What are you doing? And they immediately jumped at it.
Oh, that sounds much like what happened with the Ghostbusters movie, where, for instance, James Rolfe was like, I'm not going to see it because it looks like a movie I wouldn't enjoy. I don't think I'd like this movie, so I'm not going to see it. Which seems reasonable, you know. If there's if there's like a movie or a game or whatever that I don't think I'm going to enjoy, I won't bother with it. That's not racist or
At least
sexist.
Thanks to that movie, we have an ultimate benchmark of what's not funny. It's basically like a feminist version of Adam Sandler movies.
Mhm. Speaking of which, I'll touch on this really quickly. There was also this thing where this woman was like, you know what'd be funny? What if we took the president's head, or at least make a replica of it, and let's make a picture of me holding up the severed head, and nothing's going to happen. Like,
course
it's
not.
gonna
That's
be
fine.
perfectly fine. And to a certain degree, I agree. You should be allowed to do that. Freedom of speech and all that.
I disagree. She didn't wear the Muslim headscarf. It wasn't complete.
To be honest, I saw that, and the first thing I thought was, I wish these people would get their balls out and actually do this shit rather than just make vague threats.
It's like being passive aggressive on a political scale.
Except
Politically.
that's where I would take issue, because then you're using violence to settle political
But Artrix,
differences.
you have these roving bands of neets who pretend they are communists, who are throwing rocks at people. They are already doing it. They just have such a great organization. They barely, figured out how to not throw the rocks at each other.
Yes.
I just think it's an incredibly cowardly gesture to do something like that. It's like, oh, look, I'd love to kill Donald Trump, but I never would. Jeez.
No, it's a very deep statement about well, he's mean. And
I don't like him.
I don't like him. That's why
He eats too much ice cream.
so that's why I'm going. I mean, just imagine someone doing this with a Barack Obama back in the day.
Or Hillary.
Like or Hillary even. Just think of
It's
the
kind
backlash.
of like. It's kind of like if you compare to humor. I mean, there are some jokes that happen to be same. That's every time, but the jokes about Hillary in general is like, she's secretly a reptilian.
Mm.
She has everybody in her pocket or something like that, or everybody has her in their pockets. And with Trump, it's like he's mean.
Yep. That's what a lot of
They are
these
not even
things.
creative. It's just
Oh,
like
no,
he's I don't like him.
no,
We need to kill him.
No, I'm going to stop you right there, because it's not just that he's mean. He's also dumb.
He's a white man.
Oh yeah, and of course he's white. And
Well, that's obviously that's why he's dumb.
and he's drunk because
Fucking
XDDD
cave
so
dwellers.
clever. I mean,
Yeah,
because so many people in America wanted to have German sounding names after a couple of mild confrontations.
Yes, obviously. I mean, just ask basically everybody who's named Brown and is in black. Because, it just happens that Brown is also a German name, and changing it to Brown is not that difficult.
But yeah, that was a thing that happened. I think she actually lost her job at, what was it? I don't
Yes,
even fucking know.
CNN.
Yeah, CNN. Well, this
At least
it is-
CNN was like, yeah, we fired her. It wasn't like, with BioWare, who just said when they fired a person who did a thing, who just said, she does not work at our company.
CNN at least owed up to it and was like, yeah, she worked for us, but not anymore.
Yeah.
Uh,
She did a bad, and now people don't like us for some reason. Let's fire her.
personally, I wouldn't even say that they need to fire her. But
No, I wouldn't say that either. But it's how it works. She apologized basically just because people were upset and yelled at her on Twitter or something. And CNN did the same thing because people were upset and yelled at CNN. And CNN was like, "Oh no, we are not favorite. How is this possible?"
To be honest, it's a really horrible climate we live in right now, where all the companies just could capitulate to this kind of mob harassment every time someone is perceived as them doing something wrong. I mean, I think I don't like that woman. I don't like the thing she did. I think it's retarded. But
The apologizing part, especially.
I don't think people should be getting fired over mob harassment, regardless of what they did. It's
After all, it was a joke. She didn't go and actually kill Trump. I mean, if she did that, then I would probably fire her.
If she did that, she would probably get shot by the Secret Service in a few seconds.
I understand why.
Okay, we could fire her posthumously. I mean, in France, you had a cop who got killed by a very peaceful immigrant, right? And now he got posthumously married to his boyfriend. So we can do stuff like this.
And another thing that came out of this little event was apparently Trump's kid, what's his name?
Baron Trump, yes.
Yeah, he was upset over seeing a woman, decapitate his father on TV, and people on Twitter were making fun of him, calling him a pathetic little man-child. He is a child.
He is a child.
He's a literal minor.
Yeah, I mean, look at this silly preteen. He's crying because we showed his dad dead on the TV. Haha. Hey. How is that not horrible?
I mean, there's this weird kind of thinking going on from the. I don't want to grossly stereotype an entire section of the population, but they see the leftists here seem kind of fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's this normalization of violence. I mean, let's be real and realize that during the Obama years, there were some pretty batshit crazy people on the right. So I'm not gonna pretend it doesn't exist, but that shit was relatively low key to this apparent normalization of violence and extreme reaction and whatnot. Is all normal and perfectly normal to scold an 11-year-old for being upset over pictures of his dead father.
My shoulder hurts. Oh God, why?
It's probably Baron Trump. He did it personally.
Yes, I bet.
Yeah, it's really annoying because I'm pretty sure that if I was to do the political compass thing and figure out where I stand, I'm probably on the left, which really annoys me because that associates me with these people.
I think Sargon is actually having a similar problem where he's actually kind of on the left on a lot of issues.
But everybody keeps calling him a white nationalist conservative.
That
And he's not white.
that and the conservatives are actually surfing the issues that he actually cares about, which is currently Brexit and how they're gonna.
Also, that there's the tiny problem that the left, as we know it from TV, as seen on TV, that left is so far to the left that literally everything else is on the right to them. It's like that. There's a line between right and left, right? And the left is so far away that the line became a point.
Yes, it's like that that cross section, and the leftist right now is all the way to the left, of course, and all the way to the top. So they're extreme authoritarian leftist crazies, which basically makes them communists.
No, it makes them Nazis.
Well, aren't Nazis and communists basically the same thing, but completely different?
Well, Nazis kill people
Nazis
based
are
on if you're
socialists.
Jewish or not, and communists kill people based on, well, basically if you have money or not. But
yeah, exactly. They both kill people for no other reason than, oh, you disagree, so we're just gonna kill you.
That makes them authoritarian, but they're also socialist, which makes them left. So they are authoritarian left. They're right at the top left of the fucking bubble.
Mm-hmm.
So yes.
Yeah, I did say that they would be all the way to the left.
No, I mean the Nazis.
They're all the way to the right, aren't they?
No, they're on the left. I just told you how they were on the left.
Fascists are right.
Fascists.
Nazis and fascists, despite the fact that they worked together, were on different ends of the spectrum.
Well, yeah, they do believe in a very strong central government. Strong.
They did, however, both hate the Jews, so...
I mean, who didn't from a historical perspective?
Well, I guess they're not very liberal, I guess. It's like, you want to practice that particular religion? Oh no.
Well, usually the problem with Jews was like, their religion doesn't prohibit lending money. So they are making money on us poor people who can't do this because religion. I mean, we are doing it anyway, but we pretend we are not doing it. So, it's the Jews' fault. Also, the king just borrowed a few million golden pieces from the Jews and he can't pay it back. So better just kill the Jews.
Anyways, we have about 10 minutes left.
Yes,
so
and that happened at least several times. Because king borrows money from Jews. Jews want it back. King is still broke. King kills Jews. Gets more money from the killed Jews.
Isn't unfair lending against the Jewish religion, but they do it anyway?
That's a lot of religion. you know.
I don't know. Does anybody understand the religion at all? It's a religion.
Oh, that is generally the problem. People, you know, often the problem with religion is that people are trying to apply to real life.
Well, wasn't there that whole story in the Bible of Jesus being all, "Hey, look, there's a bunch of people lending money here, and they're being shitty about it." So
What
he
would
ran
Jesus
in
do?
Well, he literally ran in and beat them all up.
Yes, he flipped the tables and whipped them.
So yes, if you're ever in the bank and the bank is being a dick, and you think, "What would Jesus do?" You would break into the bank and beat people.
And chase them out the door.
All right, right. One more topic, and then we're calling it a day. Check the
Polish Ministry of Interior awarded a medal to a person who was named exactly as himself. And when the media asked about the medal, the only reaction they got was the minister declined to accept the medal. What the fuck, Poland? This is like, you have the normal level of Polish government being Polish government, but this is more than that. This is next level of Polish government being Polish government. Okay, so you have a guy who gives himself a medal and then he refuses to accept it.
that is a whole new level of WTF, mate.
Like, I don't understand.
What's even the point in setting that up then?
Exactly.
Was he trying to make some political, social agenda thing?
Like, stop being so entitled to your own achievements or whatever.
Maybe he didn't realize that it was public until it was too late. It's like, sweet, that's a nice medal. I want that.
Okay. From the list of topics that Sekele prepared, I think I'll pick one and then call it a day. And a new PBG, like the new series that was spawned.
Oh yeah, that one.
Oh my
Yes.
god, yes.
The one that
Yes.
where they are from the side, they look like fish.
Yes, that one. Apparently, there's a little, let's just say there's a little bit of controversy about it right now. And I think, wasn't it 4chan that brought it up?
Yeah, 4chan brought it
Oh
up.
god, yes. I remember posting that picture into the chat.
Yes.
One of the writers of the show basically ships him. Well, he basically self-inserted himself into the show as Blossom's love interest.
Mm-hmm. To be fair, he did age the kid appropriately. So it's not like his adult self that's in the series that's like, "Hey, Bob Blossom, let's go out for dinner and let's go to a movie, and after maybe if you feel like it, No, unfortunately it didn't go that route, but still.
No, Artrix, I don't know.
To be perfectly honest,
Well,
that sounds
in
fucking
the
creepy as
show,
fuck.
they both are the same age. So
Yes.
Yeah, but still, this writer is shipping himself on a national TV show with a child.
Nothing wrong about that.
This is
he's
2017.
shipping his child self with her.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think there's anything inherently wrong about it. Like, he didn't breach any kind of ethics, but it's just incredibly cringy, especially when it comes out. Like, if you don't have the foresight to realize, wait a minute, so if I'm gonna do this, and people gonna see it, and they're gonna discuss it on the internet, and then they're gonna find out that I'm the writer, which is piss easy to find out because it's printed on every fucking episode and it's in the credits and it's on IMDb. This information is readily available, so people are going to find out about it. Maybe this is going to bite me in the ass, so maybe I shouldn't be doing this.
To be honest, as far as I read it, that means he's admitting himself out to be a pedophile. And also, that's against the law on YouTube now. You can't do that sort of thing.
Yeah, but only
Yeah,
only if your opinions are wrong, of course. I mean, if you're on YouTube's good side, then they can
all you need is
they
to write
can
onion.
see through their fingers. It's
So
like,
that's not even true anymore, though. Like, a bunch of really big YouTubers lost all their ad revenue, but they have changed the rules recently. They posted out a new update to their advertiser-friendly guidelines, and don't worry, we will not get any monetization for this video because we talked about all the things that are against their guidelines.
Yeah, but it needs to be flagged first, and even if that happens, there wasn't much of revenue to be taken away.
Yeah, we should just defaultly flag ourselves.
We'll make exactly 1 cent, and it'll immediately be removed.
Yes. It's like, oh my god, we have to send them a check for 1 cent. But oh, you drew copyrighted character. Oh, no, guess we don't have to pay anymore.
Well, specifically, you can't draw child characters engaging in
sexually suggestive,
questionable
yeah.
situations or
Well,
violent
now-
situations.
Now, like 50% of any fandom has nothing to do.
Although it did say, sort of state that, out of character situations. So for the Powerpuff Girls, I think them violently beating up Saddam Hussein would be acceptable.
There's no escape.
Wait, was
Saddam?
there actually I don't think there was an episode where they literally beat up Saddam Hussein. That would be hilarious, though.
There was similar episodes. There was episodes with stand-ins for popular real villains.
This is true. I don't think the Middle Eastern figures weren't one of those. But yeah, Powerpuff Girls was. I mean that's the reason why so many people don't like the new PPG, because that show basically takes everything that made the original show enjoyable, which is, okay, you got these cute little girls and they beat the shit out of everything, and you basically take off that, you move it, and it basically just becomes yet another teen drama show with preteens, and they live very mundane lives. Moto Jojo is just the wacky neighbor, and I think we discussed this pre-episode, Sekele and I, where we basically came to a conclusion that Moneybucks, or whatever her name is Morbucks is basically the main villain now, because he's like the preppy, popular girl in school now. So in other words, the new PPG has become exactly what the original was trying to not be.
Well, obviously, Artrix, if it goes to such a state that then Mojo Jojo is a neighbor that just happens to live nearby and sometimes appear, then you know that there's such an evil in power that normal evil doesn't have a chance. In other words, it's PPG, but in communism.
Oh my god, I think you might be right. Maybe the people that made the show aren't ultra Bay Area progressives, but they're actually warning us about the dangers of communism.
Yeah, exactly.
By using progressive imagery, to lull people into believing, oh, this is just a harmless progressive show. but meanwhile they're telling us, don't let this happen, because if it does, then Mojo Jojo will rule everything. And with that little tidbit, we're going to end this episode. Also, I'm done drawing Zarya, so that's quite a coincidence that I'm done now. We're at the 1.5 hour mark, so perfect. Thank you for watching. Like, favorite, subscribe, and all that good shit.
Prescribe.
Yeah, also
Subscribe.
Kill the unbelievers.
Also, press that little bell button thingy, so you get like a little push notification whenever we upload these, so you don't miss it, because you obviously really need to see it.
Yes.
Also, you can commission me for these. So if you want to see me draw your thing on the podcast, you can do that.
You don't want to see that.
All
It's just going
all
to
you have
turn
to
all
do,
your dreams and hopes.
to just have to pay me 10 whole euros, and I'll do it during that podcast, and then all 12 people can see me draw it. So with that said,
Including you, maybe.
maybe. So yeah, thank you for watching. You liked it. Because that's now a factual
game
statement.
over.
You liked it. Game over. Bye.
Yeah. You
Bye
don't
bye.
get the choice.
All right.
Okay, I'll stop for real now. Bye.